Hello and welcome to this series on Google Calendar. To start with, you want to get logged into the account that you'd like to use for calendar. So you can see I'm already logged in by the icon in the upper right. And to get the calendar, you have several methods. One is you can use the waffle. So if you click here, you should see calendar as one of your listings. Simply click that to go to calendar. An alternate is to actually type in the URL. And this follows a pattern as with most Google properties. So you just simply type calendar. calendar.google.com like that. And even if that was the only thing you typed, it would redirect you to your calendar space. Now you can see in my calendar over on the left, I've got a number of different calendars, quite a few over here actually. And we'll look at that in future videos, but for now let's look at just the basics of the setup of the environment. So to begin with, you have this left panel. This includes the mini calendar, a create button, and a listing of your calendar. If for some reason you didn't want to see that, you could use the hamburger in the upper left corner, and that would just get you a little more screen space, make things just a little bigger. I don't tend to ever use that. I like these controls over on the left. Next, you have a way to navigate through your calendar. So right now you can see I'm in March, but if I click these arrows, my calendar will jump to April, May, June, and I can go backwards as well. You can use the mini calendar for that as well. So if I am looking at March at this point, but I want to go to another date, I can simply use this calendar to move along. So now I'm in December over here. Note that my main calendar hasn't changed. But then if I click on any day, it's going to bring me to that month. Okay, next you have a Today button. That's just going to bring you back to the current day. And that's how you move around between different dates, months, years potentially in your calendar. To the right you have a search feature, so clicking this will open a search box and you can search for anything you may have added to your calendar. Okay. Next comes the gear. And you can see this is, we'll do a separate video on settings, but this is where you set up the basic operations of your calendar, whether it's public or private, and a number of other settings. If you have deleted items, you can find them in the trash. So I may have added an event, said I had something to do on a certain day. If I look in the trash, I'll find any I have deleted and I can restore those. Density and color. Basically here you get a couple of different options, but like you can display this in a more compact view. Some minor display options. You can play with that if you'd like. If you wanted to print a calendar or events, these are add-ons. So add-ons are things that will supplement the functionality of the calendar. And going to add-ons from this environment, from being actually in calendar, is going to show you only the add-ons that apply to calendar. So you can see most of these have to do with meeting applications. Go to Meetings, Zoom, Uber Conference. So those are the types of things you can find there. Okay, you can send feedback. So this is your way to contact Google if you want to suggest a feature or say something that's not working. And of course there's a help menu here. Now the help menu within any particular application is useful because it tends to focus just on that application. So instead of doing a general Google search where you would include the word calendar, here, this will focus on strictly calendar help items. So that can be useful. The next tool, or the tool for settings, is to give you the appropriate view. So you can see that when my calendar comes up, it's in a monthly view and it looks like a calendar that we're used to looking at, but I don't have to look at it that way. If I was somebody who had a lot of appointments in and out, I could set it to a daily view. And you can see now I'm just seeing Thursday the 21st, and I'm seeing my times here. So if I have events on this calendar, I'll see the 5 a.m., the 6 a.m., the 7 a.m., and I can scroll up or down to get to different parts of the day. I can change that to a weekly view. Okay, so see just the things that are coming up from Sunday to Saturday of a particular week. And now if I use this tool I used previously, it's going to jump me 1 week at a time. If I'd been in daily view, it would have just jumped me 1 day at a time. We've looked at monthly view before. Just brings me to this one. There's also a yearly view. And this is just a nice way to see the year in total. And I can click on this now. So if I clicked on November 5th now, it would show me any events that I had on November 5th over there. I click on it again, it's going to jump me right over to November. Okay, there's a schedule view. And this is not going to show me the calendar, but simply a list of the upcoming events that I have. So basically my schedule. And there's also this 2-week view. Okay, so if you prefer that. Other options in there would be to, and in some views, you'd notice in some views you can't use it, excuse me. But if I come to, say, monthly view, I can now turn off the weekend. So if I only want to look at my work calendar, I can shut that off. I tend to want to look at all my calendars at once so that I can see what work obligations, what personal obligations. I have several calendars shared with me, so I can kind of see what's going on all together. Okay, we'll talk about sharing calendars and multiple calendars in a minute. And then this show declined events. If someone's invited you to something and you say, no, I don't want to go, that can be done with Google Calendar. We'll look at that in another video. You can either hide those, not see that the invitation ever happened, or you can leave them on the calendar. Okay, rest of the environment, you've got the waffle here, so if I wanted to jump from calendar to another Google application, I've got my typical login. And over here on the right, you can see this was added a number of months ago. This is an integration with Google Keep. And this one is a task calendar, meaning I can assign myself certain things to do. And tasks are different than events. Events are just something I put on the calendar. But tasks are something that I can set to follow me. So if I don't do that task today, it'll show up on tomorrow's calendar until such time as I check it off as being done. Okay, that's the basic environment. That's how you move around. And in subsequent videos, we're going to look at how to add events, how to use multiple calendars, how to change your settings, how to invite people to events, etc. So we'll go through the entire range of things that you can do with Google Calendar.